you're watching this, it's because somewhere deep inside you've decided there has to be another way. A simpler way to cultivate a life with peace and calm. Whether it be your first day or 10th year choosing to make a change for the sanctity of your nervous system, you may find something of use here. I have been making videos about calm, peaceful, simple living for 4 years now, and although there are agreed upon principles of minimalism and simple living, I like to explore alternative routes to leading a calmer life here on this channel. So throughout the next month, that's precisely what we'll do. My daily videos will start with this same intro every day, but believe me when I say duplicity and carbon copies are not a part of my world. This calm world I have built from the ground up, and you can build yours too. Let's begin. It's finally been fully deleted. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Facebook. About 6 months ago now, I did a video about having a digital detox, and I said how basically, other than having my YouTube channels and the Instagram just for promoting the YouTube channels, I didn't have any other social media, and that is now officially fully true. At the time, I said I'd deleted TikTok, which I had a brief look at, but I've never really got into. I've never had X, or previously known as Twitter. I've not got the threads on Instagram, and really the Instagram is just to promote my YouTube. I don't have a private Instagram or anything like that. So the last thing I had was a Facebook account that was what they call temporarily deactivated. It wasn't fully deleted, and the reason that I gave for that was obviously being somebody who likes to declutter quite a few things, but then occasionally sort of trades in second-hand homeware because I'm interested in home decor when I'm normally at home. I got or kept the Facebook to occasionally reactivate it just for marketplace to be able to sell things, because in the area that I live, people don't sort of use Gumtree or any other way of selling things. If you go to car boot sales, you're lucky to sort of get £5 for like a table. So now I am just thinking that now I've officially deleted Facebook and all my social media, I'm thinking, that's not to do with YouTube, I am thinking that I will just either give the item away, or if it's an item worth quite a bit of money, I might just ask my partner with his Facebook account to sell the odd thing. Basically, the only thing we had left to sell at the point of me deleting the account was some of my partner's vinyls, so there were his things anyway, and one of the white chairs, because we have decided to sell one of them. We think there just isn't quite enough space in our home because of a few things that we want to do in between when we are traveling, which I will let you all know about by the end of this 24 days. But what I wanted to tell you all about today was what has actually prompted me to officially get rid of Facebook, because it really is to simplify my life. Also, guys, as you all know from yesterday's video, I went for the pineapple hairdo because I couldn't be bothered with it today. Anyway, slightly off topic, but what's prompted me to get rid of Facebook was an event that has actually taken place over the last couple of days, and it's been happening more and more, and I just decided it's not something that even sort of £100, $150-ish, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth the hassle. So there's the thing about marketplace that I'm sure a lot of you know, that half of the time people say they're going to turn up, but then they don't turn up, and you've changed your whole morning or waited around for them, and then they don't even bother sometimes to let you know whether they're coming, and you've waited in for no reason, and then they don't turn up. Sometimes they wait till the very last minute, but at least have the courtesy to say something's cropped up, I can't turn up. But even then you're a bit like, well, I've kind of waited in for you, but thanks for letting me know. But then there's this other group of people which, luckily, it doesn't happen too often, but when it does happen, as a single female selling things on Marketplace, i.e. when I go to meet them, I appear single, it's actually quite worrying. Now, what I learned through years and years of selling things on Facebook Marketplace whilst attempting to declutter things is, unless it is an actual furniture item where they have no choice other than to come to your address, which again is a bit problematic if you're in the house alone. So I always try and get a friend or my mum or somebody to be here when they come to collect something, because it is a dangerous world we're living in. You know, letting a stranger into your home. Well, I've had a few now strange incidents. There was one incident once where somebody wanted to come and collect a huge glass collection I had right at the beginning of my decluttering journey. I had all these sort of recycled glass. I don't know whether some of you can remember them. And because of the nature of them, they were obviously very, very heavy. However, I didn't want this man to come to my home whilst Johnny wasn't at home with me. And it was an occasion where my mum couldn't be there. So I agreed to meet him in a busy place in town to hand him this box of well-packed glasses over. Anyway, I think we actually we genuinely had an emergency that day. So I, right off the bat, as soon as the event happened in the morning, messaged this person and said, look, an event has happened, I can't come, but I'm happy to reorganise it for you another day. Anyway, he really got really angry really quickly, even though I was apologetic. I'd told him with lots of notice. And he was that angry about it that it actually worried me about meeting him. So I actually just said, look, they're only glasses at the end of the day, and it's like a bit unusual how mad you're being about this, so I now don't feel comfortable even meeting with you. He ended up absolutely harassing me over Messenger for like weeks about it. So in the end, I blocked him and thought, right, that's put me off selling on Marketplace for a while. Then a year or so passed, long enough for me to forget about the incident, and I was actually trying to sell a watch for my partner, Johnny. He had a Samsung watch, and it was a smartwatch. It was fully working. I checked it all worked, but this is an MO of some buyers on Facebook Marketplace. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. So regardless of how well they inspect it when it comes, sometimes some of them just change their mind later and want to return it. And obviously, within reason, there isn't a return policy on Facebook Marketplace. You know, the watch was fully working. When he came to collect it, I said, I want you to, because of the incident as well that I'd had before, I always make sure that the person fully likes it before I walk away, because I don't want any sort of comebacks and potential people getting angry with you and then it being awkward if you have to re-meet back up. And you know, that is a bit of a dangerous thing that as a female seller, which I think unfortunately the opposite gender don't consider, that you might feel intimidated. So anyway, this person who took the watch, I have to say, clearly had an alcohol problem. I am not judging them for that, but what I am sort of saying is I believe that they broke the watch themselves. The watch, totally fine, no scratches. I tested it that morning, checked it all worked. And when I say that morning, I mean literally 15 minutes before I left the door. So there was no chance for me to have broken it in the time before I went out the door to sell it to the person. I said, look, I want you to make sure it's all working and that you like it. He stood for a good 5-10 minutes checking all the functions, checking it all worked. I said, are you happy? He said yes. He gave me the money. He walked away. I think it was 10 hours later that evening, really late at night, he said, the watch is broken. I said, what do you mean the watch is broken? It has broken? And he said, yeah, it's broken. I think it was like that when I got it. And I was like, I don't know what you mean, so you'll have to send me some pictures. Sent me some pictures. All the face of the watch was all smashed. I think I'd have noticed that. And yeah, they was basically saying that they wanted their money back. I said, look, I'm sorry, but it clearly looks like you have damaged that. That was not the watch that I sold. So you can't take it home break it and then try and return it. There was hell to pay. They started posting about me on the local Facebook sites, saying that I'd sold them a broken watch. Everybody else just thought it was ridiculous, saying, I think you would have noticed, saying, you know, a big break like that down the front of the watch. Anyway, everybody just ignored him because it was ridiculous. But the thing that's quite sort of embarrassing in a small town like where I'm from is if somebody does sort of make claims about you like that, a few of your friends are probably going to see it. So it took me a while to get over that. I was like really, really upset about it. And it was just horrible that he was basically accusing me of being a scammer when he was the actually one that was trying to scam me, sort of breaking his watch but then thinking he could get his money back for it if he'd like changed his mind, or even maybe it was even an accident, but then he just thought, well, I don't want to have paid for this watch that I've just broken within 10 hours. Anyway, guys, final straw. This morning, I was trying to sell some of my partner's boots. They are not happy about it. They basically I went to go meet them. They were happy. I said, have a good inspection of these boots, check that you like them. They said, yeah, they're great. I really like them. They fully got them out, had a look at them, looked at everything, walked away. 3 hours later, messaged me saying, I've changed my mind about the boots. And I was like, I'm not sure if you're new to Facebook Marketplace, but that's not how it works. It's not like a shop where you can return things. You were happy with them. They're exactly as described. Size 10 brown boots, you know, you can't return them. Anyway, they've been basically bombarding me with messages. So I blocked them. So then they basically got another person, like a friend's account, to still bombard me with messages over some boots that were brand new, that they'd only paid £40 for, 50, 60 US dollars, 80 Australian dollars, Fiona, if you're watching. And yeah, bombarding me. So I just thought, at the end of the day, there is no returns on Facebook. I don't know what to do. I felt harassed. And the point is, I even felt intimidated to say, okay, I can't cope with the hassle. Just let him return the boots and I'll give him his £40 back. You know, it's just £40. I actually felt, because he'd been that intimidating in the messages, too intimidated to go meet him. Obviously, my partner's not home from work yet. Otherwise, he would probably go. But I just sort of had a little bit of a meltdown to do with Facebook Marketplace. It's definitely not simplifying my life. I thought, I've had enough. I've had enough of it. Anything now worth sort of under $100, which was a rule I made for myself a couple of months back, but I kind of went back on that. If it's worth under £100, I'm just going to give it away. If it's worth over £100, such as our white chair that we're selling, my partner can sell it. I've deleted my Facebook account. So deleted. My partner's going to have to relist it for me along with his vinyl albums, which are still in the process of selling. Like, we've managed to sell quite a lot of them. And then I've got to the point where I don't even want to buy anything of high value anymore. So that if you do, for whatever reason, decide to declutter it, you can just sort of give it away and not have to worry about selling it. Because there's just so many like strange, unethical and unscrupulous people out there that don't even have logic. So today's video is simplifying my life by getting rid of the final last app I had that was social media, that was my personal social media, and that is the Facebook. It's gone. I'm never going back on it. And I did only have it for Marketplace and a few of my stored photographs, but I've now backed up all my photographs somewhere else. And I'm actually genuinely like worried today that there are going to be other repercussions. Like, is this person like going to start looking for me for the boots? Obviously, if I saw him out, because the town is small, I would just give him his money back. But at the moment, I'm actually genuinely worried to go meet him. He was very, very intimidating and very, very threatening. And if there's any males out there watching my videos, I'm sure that you are not like this, but I think sometimes people of the male gender don't realise what it is like in this world to walk through the world as a female and always have that threatening aspect when you get into an altercation with somebody, that their response is different based on their gender and worrying about that interaction. Anyway, I didn't want this to turn into like a negative video today, but I wanted to be honest about the reason why today, it's not even the video that I planned. The video I had planned today was skincare and beauty, because obviously I did hair care yesterday, but this has really affected me this morning. So I just wanted to be honest about a different way that I've simplified my life today. I've finally deleted my Facebook. Also, elephant in the room really quickly before I go, I'm also barely going to edit this video because of everything that's gone on this morning. I've barely got a chance, so it's almost like a live on air. I have got a new fleece. We are incorporating a little bit of baby blue into my wardrobe when other things need replacing, and I'm definitely going to need this extra layer for somewhere that I have planned that I'm travelling to. So we have a new fleece layer for winter. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully there've been no more incidents to do with this. If there is, I'll let you know at the end of the video. But wow. See you all tomorrow. Bye.